Welcome, everybody. It's time once again for another episode of OC Spotlight. Bringing you the most amazing people doing the most incredible things right here in Orange County, right in your own backyard. And today, of all the people we've ever brought on, this has got to be one of the coolest and most interesting conversations, at least for me, that we've ever had, as we're going to feature 500 people today. No, not quite. We got quite a few people from the Cypress College Automotive T10 program. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
What and the person who brought us this is Fritzy Cañas.
Yes, well, welcome to OC Spotlight. We're highlighting Cypress College Automotive Program. Each of the colleges, and there's 10 in Orange County, have their own career technical education program. Today, like Mr. Paul said, we are proud to have Cypress College Spotlight their Automotive T10 program. And joining us is Mr. Mike Clyde, one of the Cypress College instructors of the Auto T10 program. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
A couple of his amazing students who will be introducing themselves and who are already employed at several Beach City Toyota and Lexus dealerships, even before finishing the program. And Miss Kim McFall, representing the Orange County Automotive Dealer Association, me, Fritzy Cañas, one of the career education counselors in Orange County, and our sound engineer, Paul Roberts. Well, let's go ahead and get started.
Here's why I think this is so interesting, guys, and I'm gonna pick up and run with the ball here a little bit today. I know that Fritzy, because your involvement with is it a community college district that has all these colleges part of one district? Is that it?
Well, we're all in the Orange County network. So out of all of the Orange County community colleges, we have 10, and each college, some of them overlap in programs, but they all have some individualized programs, and that's why today I wanted to bring and highlight the one here at Cypress College, which is the automotive program.
Here's why I think it's so interesting. Number one, I grew up in the automotive business. My dad was an executive with Chrysler Corporation. Started off in the assembly line when he was 18, worked his way up into the executive rank, something that just nobody did. I grew up in Detroit. Everybody was car crazy here. And what I saw back then, I don't see today. People who wanted to go into the trade of working with automobiles. Every kid today, maybe it's just my circle of friends, but they all want to get a degree in English or political science like I did. And then you come out and you say, what the heck am I going to do with that? I got $100,000 in debt, and there's no job waiting for me. Yeah. So what I want to hear about is, and that's why I thought this is interesting, how many kinds of trade schools are there out there like this one? And specifically talk about this program. How many kids are in it, and what do they get out of it? So we'll start with Mike here. Tell us about your program.
Great. Well, Cypress College is part of the North Orange County Community College District, which includes Fullerton College, the North Orange County Adult Education, and then Cypress College, which is where we're from. And both Fullerton and Cypress have automotive programs, but the only T10 program is at Cypress. It's the only one in Orange County.
And what's a T10 program?
It's Toyota's Technician Education Network, and the T10 program is where a student can come in and start in our summer AT 109 Introduction to Toyota Technology course. And 2 years later, two of the students here with me today are going to be graduating at the end of May, and they will be, because of their ASC certifications, will graduate as
I know who it is because I saw them smile already here. The other ones didn't smile, so I know who it is.
Their first year. So they will have 8 ASCs, which will make them expert level techs, and their first year out full time, they'll probably be in the 55 to 75K range.
What? Oh, come on, really?
No, these are the students that go above and beyond, but most of our students do. Toyota only requires that they become certified in 2 ASE areas, but my cohort, Paul Kelly, and I, we don't go by that rule. We go by, Toyota says 2, but we say 8.
So do they come out and get a job with Toyota or get interviewed by Toyota? How does it work? I mean, Toyota obviously puts this program out because they, I'm guessing, like many people in trades, are seeing a shortage of people in these skilled trade positions. Am I right with that?
Yeah, there's a huge shortage. I'll let Kim talk about that a little bit later. But our students come in mostly from high school, not always. One, we'll talk about his career a bit. But most of them come from high school or just a year or two out from high school. And they finally decided automotive is what they want to do, and they want to go to work at a dealer, new car dealer, and Toyota is who they want to work for. And that's what makes this program great. At Cypress, no 2-year college has a humongous budget, but what Toyota does for us
Cypress does, I heard. Cypress.
Yeah, I wish.
Massive budget.
I wish.
Go ahead.
I wish. But what Toyota does for us is we have about 38 Toyota vehicles that are dedicated to the program. They're all prepped with faults that both the students and I put in.
They've already been prepped with faults.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So they're
it's like a CSI
Right.
examination. Can you find the dead body, the dead battery, the dead bolt, or whatever? Yeah.
Basically, because it come down any Friday, and every car has a repair order in the left rear window, and it says check engine light on or brakes pull to the left, or etc. So the students diagnose them, and so we teach them the theory and the requisite knowledge so they can pass their ASEs and understand.
But
the
what I'm trying to
systems.
get is, why does Toyota, not just because they want to see more, I mean, is this a program that, how does Toyota benefit from this? Do
Okay.
they get first crack at these students, or is this just something they do to support the trade in general?
Good question. So what happens is the students, Toyota corporate supports us, and then we support the dealers on behalf of Toyota corporate. And so the dealers are able to hire students who have been vetted. They know that they have a California driver's license and an employable driving record. They're able to pass a drug test and a background test, and they have an employee ID number, like a social security number.
But
So
more
they're
than
all
that,
set
they
to
know
go-
what they're doing.
Yeah, that's the second part. The first part, though, is pretty hard for them, and Kim will probably talk about that. But the nice thing is for the
The
students.
hard part is finding just qualified people that don't have to pass drug tests and
Exactly.
have drive. That's
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
I mean, high school students today,
Oh,
maybe a
yeah.
third of them don't have a driver's license.
wow,
So,
yeah, that's
But
true.
not only is the faculty teaching and preparing our students, they're also bringing on representatives from Toyota and other dealerships and prepping our students and letting them know what those interview skills are like, what to look for in an application, how to come in and interview skill. So let's talk to some of the students here and tell us a little
Well, let's
bit.
talk about the two graduating. Which
Yes,
the
that's
one guy
right.
smiling in the front here, he must be one of them. 'cause
Yeah,
he
go ahead and
smiled.
introduce your name and tell us what you're doing.
My name is Juan Castellon. I work for Rancho Santa Margarita Toyota.
You work for them now.
Correct.
How, and when did you graduate, or do you graduate?
I graduate May 19th.
So
That's
you
fine.
haven't even graduated yet, and you got a job at Rancho Santa Margarita Toyota?
Correct.
You ever been? Am I the only one amazed at that here? I mean, most kids come out and spend the next 5 years looking for a job.
That's right.
They're working at Starbucks while they try and find something for their MBA to utilize here. And you've got a job, a
Yes.
good paying job at a big Toyota. What was that like? How did you feel? You know, getting a job right out. You're not even graduating. You got a job.
It feels great, to be honest. I love what I do. I have the two best instructors. They teach us everything we need to know.
Are they here today, or is it?
I have one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I have one here today.
the other one's watching.
The other one's watching. All right. So tell me why you joined the program and what your parents said when you joined the program. Because I don't think most parents jump up and down and say, oh, boy, my son's going to go into an automotive trade school, even though you can get a job and do something you love and make a lot of money. Too many parents today, it's my perception, don't think of trade schools as a career path.
Well,
So
my-
what did your parents say?
Well, they were always into it because since I was 14, I've been working on cars. So
Ripping them apart? and
Pretty
see
much.
Yeah.
as soon as I was 18, I got hired at South Coast Toyota. I worked there for about 2 years, and then Michael Clyde came over, visited a couple students, and he pretty much recruited me.
Wow.
And
okay.
then from there,
So this was in your blood. This is something you love to do from forever.
yes,
And your parents were supportive of that.
since day one.
Were
I-
they surprised when you got a job right out of the box?
We were all surprised. We were like, oh, congratulations.
Yeah, right. Because that's not the... Talk about that, Mike, a little bit. Okay, I go to Cypress College, and I know it's a good school, but how many of those kids don't get anything coming out of the box?
Well, that's the unique thing about T10, even across the country, although here there's a very high concentration of Toyota dealers and Lexus dealers nearby.
Yeah, right.
But each of the students here is working, even the first-year students. And I'll let Kyle, who's behind me, talk a little bit. His story's a little bit different than Juan's is. But Randy and Steven, our first-year students, they both have just started working. Randy started a couple months ago.
Unbelievable.
And
You're already
then-
out working in real cars and a
Yeah.
real thing. You're not just sitting in a shop working on some fake car from 100 years ago.
And that's after 1 year?
Not even one.
Not even a year.
Stephen and Randy haven't even been in the program a full year yet.
All right, let's talk to the other gentleman here who's a second-year student. Which one of the four
Kyle.
here?
That's me.
That's you, okay.
Yeah, my name's Kyle. I'm working at Toyota of Manhattan Beach, and I started here approximately 2 years ago. And
Get a little closer to the mic there, yeah.
Okay, well, I originally started in college for a 4-year program for
Okay.
engineering.
Okay.
And
Good program, but there's a million people out there trying to be engineers.
A lot of time and money spent in that, and after a couple years in, I felt like automotive was where I wanted to be because I kept working on cars. I just got bit by the bug. And
It is a bug, isn't it? Because, I mean, I don't know if kids still have that same passion, but when I was a kid, my cousins raced cars, and I lived in Detroit, and the manufacturers used to, on the side, support people who raced up and down Woodward Avenue, and then they'd get written up in all the car magazines. I mean, there was more of that car culture way back when. I don't know that cars, maybe they're so sophisticated now, kids can't take them apart, work on them with all the computers and stuff like we could when I was a kid, but there is a bug to it, isn't
yeah,
there?
we still find our way to mess with our cars, and that's pretty much why I went into automotive. I don't remember how exactly I found T10, but I found it somehow. And so I changed my track from my career track and found this program, and here's where I am
And what
now.
did your parents say when I said, I'm not going to be a 4-year engineer, I'm going to go to a 2-year trade school? Are you nuts, or were they happy?
Surprisingly, for being from an Asian family, I'm sure Steven knows this.
They're
They're usually very traditional, but my parents were very open to whatever I wanted to do.
Wow,
Whatever my career plan was, they will support me however
You've
much
got
they
some
can.
cool parents out
Yeah.
there. Okay. And how do they feel now about the decision you made here? You already got a job and you haven't even graduated.
They're very happy that I'm doing what I enjoy the most, working on cars and
making a
having
living,
fun
good
and,
living
yeah,
doing it.
making
Yeah.
a living.
So let's talk to your cohort back there who's, you said you opened the door, so I'll follow it, from Asian families here. We know, I think UC Irvine is 1/3 Asian, even though we're not 1/3 Asian. They're very driven to high education and degrees and whatnot. They place a high premium, probably more than most cultures do here. How did your parents feel about the choice?
Just like Kyle's parents, my parents were very open to it. So like I was actually pretty surprised because Asian parents they want to be doctors.
Yeah,
their kids
right,
wanna be
exactly.
doctors.
Every kid's going to be a doctor. Well, every kid can't be a doctor.
Car doctor.
A car doctor. Oh, that's cool.
Car engineer.
Yeah, so they're pretty open about it, and when my first day on the job, my dad texted me saying he's proud of me, so that was pretty cool.
So why don't more kids think of this in your high schools, all of you there, and we'll get to the gentleman in the back here in a minute here too, but why am I just living, maybe this is just me and I'm putting in my own bias, but do kids think about trade schools anymore? Because a lot of high schools have dropped trade programs. There used to be a shop program, there used to be woodworking, there used to be other programs when I went to high school, and it's my understanding most of those have been cut out in the budget constraints. So do kids even think about trade schools much in high schools? What are you guys in the back there? Do your other friends, you brought up you're from Asian communities
Well,
and whatnot?
I'm actually 24, and back in middle school, that's when I had woodwork, and I just loved working on things ever since I took that class.
What do your buddies and your friends say about all this? They're out 24 still looking for a job working at Starbucks here while they're...
Yeah.
Yes, they
All
are.
my friends that actually graduated and are going to college or finished college, they're just surprised as to how fast I can make their amount of money now.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty much catching up to them now.
Yeah, you start. I don't think there are many other careers. Is automotive what's the ceiling? I have no idea what automotive technicians, mechanics, whatever you
What is the
call yourself.
salary range?
Yeah, what's the salary range?
I mean, entry level is entry level, which is going to be anywhere from low end 12, high end $16 an hour. But these students, when they complete this program, they're certified, and then
yeah,
they
I'm talking about certified. We're not
right.
talking about any kid just
Right.
comes in like the one gentleman said, yeah, I worked for a while, just, doing at the low end of the scale. Where these are people who've gone to school to get a trade. Once you're a certified tradesman of some sense, what can you expect to make?
So as they continue learning, because there is still more to go, but if you reach the top level, I can name off at least 7 or 8 people who I run into, and they're over $150K a year.
Yeah.
So, we had somebody on from the Institute, we've had them on numerous times, from the Institute of Supply Management. Go look it up. They help the Commerce Department put out the labor manufacturing report every quarter. And they said there is a massive shortage of skilled tradespeople, CAD operators, HVAC technicians, other people, because, and their contention was, kids don't think of it as a career path, and parents don't encourage it as a career path, even though, like that, you can easily make 100,000 plus in all these skilled trades positions. Is that something, am I correct in that? Is that something you see? And
it's correct. I would say the one thing I think the guys would agree with me, while it's you can make the good money, I wouldn't say it's easy, because you do have to invest, you have tools, you have to keep new technology.
you need training.
And
We're
then-
talking about skilled technicians.
Right.
You got to go through either are there trade programs within not in automotive, but in other unions, in electrical and plumbing and stuff? Used to be you got into the union and then you were a journeyman, and then you worked your way up through different certifications, and there was a sort of step-by-step process to get to skill
And then
levels.
sorry, that's the way most automotive companies set up their technician programs that way. So Toyota has 4 levels currently: certified, expert, master, and master diagnostic tech. So a master diagnostic tech is that top tier, probably a team leader, eventually becomes shop foreman.
Right.
And then when they become team leader or shop foreman, that's when they cross that 125K a year. They're beyond that because they earn what their team is helping them earn. So they're part of the management partially at that point.
You were going to say something, Fritzy, there? You were going to
Well, there's not a lot of students getting into trades, and this is the purpose of highlighting this great group of students, and this is a very small fraction of all the other programs out there. I want to hear from some of the students as well. I want to go.
Well, we got to go to the guy behind you, because
Oh,
he's
yes.
the only one who hasn't
Great.
talked there,
Okay.
so yeah.
So let me ask you this. What excited you about the program? Now, are you also working in the field?
Yeah, I'm working at the field.
Tell me what that job interview was like and what kind of program. Tell me about the program at Cypress College.
Well, the program itself opened the door for me to go to the dealership. So I work at Toyota of Orange right now. And
Toyota of
so-
Orange, okay,
Yeah.
right.
And so,
Oh, you guys are working, and I don't know school. This is crazy. Come on.
so it happened the day of summer, the summer program actually. I went in there that month, and I just told the shop foreman that I was part of T10, that I had a good grade in the class, so hopefully I got in, and I did get in, and he hired me on the spot. So
He hired you on the spot. You're all just sitting here. Nobody's making a surprised face in the room here except me. I'm telling you, this is not an environment. This is not an easy environment to just go out and get a job. I know that we're at kind of full employment and all those kinds of things here, but even still, I know so many kids coming out of college who cannot get a job.
That's right. And we have programs such as the phlebotomy program. You're taking 3 classes max, and you're already out there in the lab
The
earning money.
phlebotomy
That's
program? I don't
right.
even know what a phlebotomy. They draw blood or
They
something?
draw blood. And here we have students that have not even reached a full 1 year, and they're already being recruited and hired on to Toyota and Lexus
Hired on the
dealers.
spot by
Yeah.
big car dealerships. Okay. Well, so what did your parents think when you joined this program, and what do they think now?
they're really supportive. Like, I've been around this trade all my life. All my cousins and my uncles are in the automotive field, so they're really supportive for me. If they knew if I was really passionate about it, to go for it.
And what did your friends, when you told them you weren't going to college, you were going to go to a trade school like this, did they all say, hey, that's cool, tell me more? Or they went, no, come on, who does that?
Yeah, some of them were like, oh, yeah, it's pretty cool. And then, Mr. Clyde was the one that actually went to my high school and talked about it. And, he really drawed me into the program, saying how much people were, successful doing the program.
Yeah.
And, I ended up going for it.
Is that part of the program, Mike, that you got to go pitch this to kids? Or are they coming to
Right.
you, or you got to open their eyes?
Very few just walk in the door. We do have some, but if Paul Kelly is the other instructor, and I didn't go out to do high school recruitment events and visit high school automotive technology programs or STEM programs, there would be a big gap because so many schools do not have automotive on site.
No.
Through dual enrollment, we do offer that for high school students so they can take the classes for free as a high school student.
What?
But
Well, that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
so that's a good way for them to find out about
they
it.
like it,
and
and
get
if they're any
college
good at it.
credit.
Yeah.
So, but
So
yeah,
you're out pitching this. What about to the guidance counselors? Are they all trying to push them to a 4-year college, or
At-
are they open to and suggesting career like trade schools?
I think the high school, from what I see, it's
Tell the
both.
truth now here, okay.
Yeah, let me hear this. Let me hear what you have to say about these counselors.
So what I see when I go to high school nights are two things. One, the parents kind of block their children, their young
Don't
young
go
adults.
talk to that guy.
Yeah, they don't. They will literally block.
Yeah.
So what we do, because I bring some of these students with me when I go, is we just get right out in the walkway. So we just talk to everybody.
And you got cool jackets.
So, but counselors really do, for the most part, they like to inform them about career education. But I think statewide, still the emphasis is on producing numbers that are that transfer out of high school to a 4-year.
Looks good. That's my whole point.
the
Looks
issue.
good.
Yeah,
You
it does, but career education is growing, and that is a very big part, and that's exactly what we're stemming off when we're talking about our community colleges.
Is that what this is called? Career education, where you
Yes.
come out, you're going to get a career, not just a
CE,
degree.
that's right. So there's more and more programs being developed, and our job is to make sure that we are out in the community doing podcasts, making sure students have resources at their hands to see what other available jobs and opportunities they have. This one being so local here in Orange County, I'm curious to see from the students, and feel free to chime in. And I heard from a couple of you. How did you hear about the Cypress College Automotive
Well, a couple of them
program?
said they were recruited. They found some.
One working on, and then one in high school. Were you in high school? Did you do the dual enrollment?
No.
Let me clarify what
sorry.
dual enrollment is. So dual enrollment is when the courses are offered to high school students, like Mike said, at no cost. Anywhere
At
from
no
at no cost, starting as early as freshmen. And
And what do you do
they're
this on the weekend or at night or?
weekend, night, or evening, whenever they are available, whenever the classes are offered. We have a for the summer.
Sorry to interrupt. Our dual enrollment, we run it at from 5 to 8 p.m. That way the students can have a couple hours out of school, get settled, and then
Right.
come to class, and then they're home before it's too late.
Yeah. So just exposing the students and the high school students.
To see whether they'll. So that's a way
That's
to sort
right.
of try before you buy.
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
And how many students in the program? Somebody tweeted that. I forgot to ask. How many students?
Well, in T10, we have around 50 or so, but the whole automotive program at Cypress has approximately 500 individual student names.
And what's the need in the? Well, actually, why don't we switch it back to if you'll hand the mic headset to the woman behind us here, who's going to be the voice of God. This is welcome Kim McFall, who is with the Orange County Automotive Dealers Association.
Yes, thank you for being
And she's here just to kind of give us the flip side of this. What do you get out of this program? I know you guys aren't behind this, but what do you see in the terms of the graduates coming out, and what's the need?
Well, the need is staggering. Nationwide, we are seeing a shortage of about 39,000 technicians each year.
Wow. Say that again. Nationwide,
That's right.
they need
39,000.
39,000 technicians, and we ain't finding them. Okay.
Exactly. Here in Orange County, our members, when we surveyed them, each of them said they're short at least 2 to 5 technicians in the dealership.
Which is why, like the one gentleman, I forget which one of you, a couple of you just walked in and got hired on the spot here.
That was
If you've
Randy.
got the skills
Randy,
and you
right.
present yourself well, they're hungry for, hey, when can you start, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, and they're great jobs, averaging at least $60,000 a year.
Oh, my goodness.
With the
Can I get a job
benefits.
there? I mean, I need a job like this. Go ahead.
Exactly, and one thing I would like to point out, just to plug the program, a lot of parents are pushing 4-year degrees, but the technical degrees that students are receiving at our community colleges, they're leaving with no college debt. So they're starting a career.
Say that again. Wow. You know, I'm going to pipe up because you obviously heard my bias here. I have just one daughter. She was not gifted at school, but like a good dad, I pushed her to go get community college and go to a 4-year college, and she dropped out along the way. Yeah. And all that money and time and effort was wasted. And I knew better. But she works in retail, and that was her first job out of high school, and it's what she loves, and she likes doing it. And I thought, okay, that's who she is. Why couldn't I accept that? Why did I have to push her into something that was not her and waste all that time and money doing it? I think of so many kids that go through these 4-year programs because that's what their parents think they should do, and they come out and they're no farther ahead. These kids have a passion for it. There's an opportunity there, a huge opportunity. Why not pursue it?
And
right?
I'll just add to that from a debt standpoint, this program, if you don't get any financial aid, is about $4,000, including the ASCs and the textbooks.
Oh my goodness, $4,000 doesn't even get you a semester at some of these four-year colleges.
For incoming students, we are offering, if they have not been in college before, then the first year at Cypress, the summer they will have to pay for, but then the next 3 semesters, the 2 fall, spring, and then the following summer of T10 is on the college, so they don't have to pay any unit fees.
And that's for who?
That's for incoming students that have not been in college before, some out of high school.
Just came out of high school and haven't gone anywhere.
Right.
As an incentive.
And
What a fantastic, incredible opportunity. I can't believe it. Last question to the automotive dealers. How do you guys view this program? You must be just thrilled that there's somebody out in your local neck of the woods doing this, and how many of these programs out there unsung, unheard of across the country?
Oh, we can't thank the instructors enough. In Orange County, there are 5 community colleges with automotive programs. Cypress College is the only one that has the specialty Toyota program.
They're the best. That's what I heard. But.
We like to think so.
Go ahead. All right.
And they're providing excellent education to the students here in Orange County to start a career with great benefits and a great starting salary.
That's true, too. You get bennies out of this. You get benefits out of this. You guys have got it made here. I'm telling you. You get to work on cool things like cars. You get to, in the backyard, build your own Fast and Furious mobile here. If you all must have some, like, really cool souped-up car, right? Tell me the truth that you're working on here. Definitely. Okay. All right.
What I want to go ahead and just leave a little note is just the need for lifelong learning. We think about mechanics and how, I'm going to ask the students, how has mechanics changed over the years?
Oh,
what does that look
now.
like?
Yeah, right.
What does that look like when we're looking at mechanics who
Not
were
just
mechanics
carburetors
10
anymore here,
years
yeah.
ago? What does that look like?
Are they, because I think what she's saying is, with all the computerized
That's
gear
right.
under the hood now here, you can't, once upon a time I could flip open a hood and I could change the oil and I could figure out that's the carburetor and I could work on my car. I don't feel competent to even start to work on my car because I don't even know what all those little computerized gizmos are under
That's
there.
right.
And I have
Kyle?
no equipment to analyze it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, well, everyone thinks nowadays you just plug in a computer and you can just fix it. It's
Right.
not
That's what I
that
think.
simple nowadays. What Mike and Paul are teaching us at school is using the computer to aid in diagnosing what's wrong with the cars. That way we can find exactly what's wrong and fix it.
I think what Fritz is getting at is, and maybe this is a harsh statement, but the guys who came out from the ground up that just worked on cars and got a job and learned on the job how to do these things, are they behind this unless they've gone to automotive programs and kept up their skills? You guys are probably ahead of them in what you know how to do
I'm
already.
sure all of us here that are working right now have noticed that, not to be rude to any of
No,
them.
but
They
no.
know their stuff. They can handle all that hard job, all the hard jobs, but all the electricals and all that electronic stuff that we have to deal with, we're probably going to be taking over
That's right.
in the near future.
Yeah, because they don't know. Cars aren't getting less sophisticated out there. Flip up. I had a Lexus for a while, I'm happy to say, and I flipped up the hood, and I couldn't even point out what anything was anymore here. And everything was sophisticated. And I'd go into some of these shops, even the local Lexus shop, and a couple of times they'd let you in the back, which they didn't want to do very often. I looked at some of these guys, I said, do you really know what you're doing here? Do you really know how to analyze all this stuff? And the hope was, if they don't, the computer does. But you're saying it's much more sophisticated than that.
So they show us what to see on a computer and how to find out and
track it.
determine what that information
It's a tool,
means from the
right?
computer.
It's not the answer; it's a tool.
It's
Right.
just giving you help to find out what's exactly wrong.
Well, let's give everybody a tool. If you're listening today, or you know somebody out there, and you're saying, "Boy, this is for my cousin. This is for my son. This is for my friend here." There is a place. If we haven't given you enough of opportunities to try it in high school, to go out and meet these guys and do it, there's an orientation coming up for those of you listening to this live or soon after. Tuesday, March 19th. This is over at the Business Building, Room 203. I don't know if that's easy or hard to find, but it's over at Cypress College. They're over on Valley View Street from 5:30 to 8. Tuesday, March 19th. What are we going to see at the orientation, and who should stop by?
Anybody interested in T10 or even our general automotive program, although this is specific to T10, getting them
This is a high-level program,
right,
yeah.
within a couple hours, we'll get you up to speed on what it takes to be successful in our summer program and then become part of the cohort and become the class of 2021.
People should be beating down your door, and instead you're out there beating the bushes trying to get people even aware of this program. I appreciate your efforts here. Heck, you're even going to bribe them with pizza and drinks if they'll show up at 5:30 here. So I hope the room is packed. I hope a lot of people are listening, because I think this is the unsung opportunity for more and more kids today who either can't afford a four-year degree, or even if they can't use it. You know, why not find your passion and pursue it? There are lots of trade schools like this. I'm thrilled we were able to highlight such a high-level one here at Cypress College, and I'm amazed that you guys don't get front-page coverage every week in what you're doing out there. I hope we can help tell your story. We're talking about the Cypress College T10 Automotive Program. Go check them out Tuesday, March 19th, over at the campus. Where do they go to get more information? Give us a website or something here.
They can go to cypresscollege.edu and then select career education, and that'll open up a page of all our career programs, and they select automotive technology, and on that main page it says visit our T10
And
site.
this is really the tip of the iceberg. There are lots of these kinds of programs at Cypress College and all the other, how many you say, 10 community colleges?
10 community colleges, and we're going to be attaching a link. That way it is a hyperlink, and it gives you information to all the programs throughout Orange County, all 10 community colleges, and that way you have an easy access at your fingertips. Also, cypresscollege.edu if you want more information regarding all the other certificates programs that we offer there. I'm trying to think.
One last note. I just want to thank Kim from Okata, because raise your hands in here. I think everybody in here got an Okata scholarship for their to help with their tuition costs. So that's another way
You
to
get a
alleviate.
scholarship on top of this. It didn't sound that expensive to begin with, but
Yeah.
there are scholarships even available. You guys will do anything and everything, it sounds like, to get kids into this program. What a
Yeah, the need
fantastic
is there.
opportunity. All right, thanks so much for calling here. I think we had some callers in here, and I don't think we were able to get to them, so I apologize for anybody who tried to call in today and get on the air. But there's just so much information here to get across. Thank you so much. This is an amazing story, and I'm glad we could tell it here. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You've been listening to another example of OC Spotlight, bringing you the most incredible things right here in your backyard. Things you've never heard of before, like the Automotive T10 program over at Cypress College. Right here in Orange County's only community radio station, OCTalkRadio.net.